Well, what's good, everybody? Interweb. This is your man Q again, and I really, by now, everybody on YouTube and anybody who's in the interweb that knows about YouTube and Twitch and Mixer or anything have already heard about Etika, and I was a little saddened by the whole situation. I didn't know Etika personally, and I only started following him about 3 years ago. And I didn't follow him all the time. I didn't catch every single one of his videos. But as someone who is also a person that's full of energy and stuff all the time, I always respected what he did. And it always goes back to, unfortunately, we never know what another person is thinking. And the tears of a clown. It reminds me a lot of Robin Williams um, when he committed suicide, because a lot of times the people who have the biggest smile on their face could have the saddest heart. And as a person who has suffered from their own depression and life situations and things, it's not easy at all times to pull yourself out of things, and it's great to have a support system, friends and family that you're able to talk to when your mind starts to drift to those dark places. Um, the unfortunate thing about the whole situation is we all seen it coming. If we look at the signs, in April, Etika had the situation where the cops came in and arrested him and everything. And then I was on Twitter with him live at one time. Excuse me, when people were blocking, where he was blocking people, when people were reacting to how he was reacting, were blocking, and because of the memes and stuff. And it's just, the older I've gotten, it just made me more sensitive to the world and everything around me. And it's just so unfortunate because if you watched his last video, he just was so sad. You can see the sadness in his eyes and how his, in his heart was, and he really seemed like he felt that it was nobody um, there for him, that nobody cared for him, and that's a very bleak situation and outlook, not only on life but just on yourself as well. And it's just a very unfortunate situation. I'm not too often at a loss for words, but it really saddens me to see this. I just sent out about 2-3 weeks ago some stuff, a message to some of my close friends and people, um, about a lot of black males, especially, because suicide rate with black men is especially high, or higher than with other um, um, races of people. And the digital age, which is the internet age, has not made it any easier as well. Uh, I'm in my 30s now, and the older I've gotten, I've realized that we, as men especially, not just men, but as men especially, I'm not saying to demasculate things, but this whole notion that if you cry or if you talk about your feelings or different situations, or heartbreak or loss or pain or bewilderment, you're taken as, which is not the word people like to use anymore, but it's still used, but people just don't sensationalize it as much as they used to. You're considered a sissy or a punk or a pussy or other situations, and that's not the truth. The truth is, as humans in this human experience that we call life, um, we, I'm sorry, we are all here together. And what separates us as humans from any other animal or creature or anything that's on this planet is the fact that we are social creatures, and the ability to be able to express these things to one another is something that society has made us lose, especially as, and I don't mean to overemphasize this again, especially for black men or men of color and men in general. You have to be tough. You have to be this person. Somebody breaks your heart, you can't show emotion. F that B, F that hoe, whatever that situation is. You just have to move on. If something happens where you might have worked your whole life for this job or this marriage or this situation or this dream, and things don't turn out the way that they were supposed to be, you're supposed to just say forget it and carry this mantle and these weights along with you as if nothing happened. And that's not always the truth. That's not how things have gotten. That's not how things really are. Again, we are social creatures, and being social creatures, when you're in pain, I've learned in my maturity and my age and life experiences, tell somebody. Even if it makes you seem weak, even if it makes you seem stupid, even if it makes you feel like you're less of a person. This life is all that we know of. And I'm not trying to get ultra philosophical or emotional on this particular subject, but it being a YouTuber, a black male, a person who has pulled themselves out of depression, dealing with people in my family who have mental health issues, more than one, dealing with, I used to work with people with disabilities, adults with disabilities, for 3 years, and then dealing with just this thing we call social media. It's so many external things that we have to have a support system. We have to have something or someone, people that we can talk to. I really didn't want to make this whole video a lot longer than it needed to be. My thoughts and prayers go out to Etika's friends and family. I was watching a video with his homeboy, and he said that he had seen all the signs, and he has seen all the signs with different things, and he feels really bad that he wasn't able to read the warning signs, and he was one of the closest dudes to him. And when I seen that really struck chords with me, because it's friends and people I know personally that I call up sometimes just to see how they are doing, because they exhibit certain situations. If you see someone that's exhibiting hot and cold personality sometimes, or the things that made them happy don't make them happy anymore, or they're talking about death or life after death, or how people don't care about them, or a sense of numbness. I also worked with someone who was coming to my job. He got hired. Real charismatic dude. Also an African American dude. Real charismatic dude. And this was in 2016, 2015. And I can't remember his name. But word had it, he had got hired at the job. Ironically enough, it was a job where we were working with adults with disabilities, and the dude was 25, and a lot of pressures happened to him. He went on top of the hospital that he used to work at, because he used to work at a hospital, and he jumped off a building and instantly killed himself. Men, when they commit suicide, exhibit straightforward methods, whether they're shooting themselves in the head, or it's just like in the situation with Etika jumping off of the bridge and he wasn't able to swim, or this young man here that jumped off the building. Men rarely take pills or slow traumatic things. Men, we usually just typically are very blunt with it. I know I'm just rambling now, so I apologize, y'all. But I just wanted to get on here and say my heart sincerely goes out to Etika, his friends and family, and he said that we weren't going to remember him. That it's just another that hopefully we are able to learn from his situation, and I believe that we can. And just like I aforementioned, a lot of things that people can exhibit in their life, watch them, help them, be a friend to someone, be mindful before you make memes or before you get ready to. And I'm a person that jokes and clowns and does stuff and different things as well, but consciously think how that may affect or not affect someone, because at the end of the day, you're behind, like myself right now, and how he was, and many of you, your favorite YouTubers and actors and stars and people. The only barrier really is the camera. We're all still human. The man was still a human, and he had external issues and problems. Just because you make money or you have 100 or 800,000, viewers and likes and stuff doesn't mean you're not human. And never give up on a person, or if a person starts to exhibit certain situations or mannerisms, talk to them, direct them to the appropriate people as well. Let them know that they are loved and that each day is a new day, and that new day is a day a day that can be better than the last day. But I'm going to put a link in the description below about suicide and prevention, and about mental health and what we can do personally. I don't think I can say it. Just in this age where everything is so fast paced, sometimes we have to take a step back and be mindful of what we say and what we do and how we think and treat each other. Love one another. And that's love one another, y'all. We only got this life that we know of. So while we're here, let's make the best of it, not only for ourselves but for everyone else. I'm sorry, y'all, I got a little emotional, a little breaking the script a little bit from the norm, but I just want to get on here and say that. So remember, y'all, be good to one another, and I'll holler at you guys on the next one. Peace.